And it's a very good morning to the Gelding and Gelding races return to Caulfield today for the Blue Diamond Prelude and the CF Orr Stakes. A great meeting, 7 group races on the cards, plenty to like for punters today.
Yes, good morning, Professor. Good morning, listeners. Group 1 racing returns at Caulfield. Big change in the track position, Professor. Certainly want to see how the track plays today, with the rail now coming back from the 9-metre mark into the even in the true position. And, of course, last week we had rather a bit of bias in the track at Caulfield, something we have always warning the punters to consider at Caulfield. I'm just a little bit worried about the fact there hasn't been any rain this week. So there I've got another unknown about the racing. And what is it?
How much water was put into the track, Gelding?
How much water's been put into it? And is that going to have an effect on whether it's biased towards down on the inside and in, or will it be suiting horses coming down the middle of the track? Because last week, not many horses could make up ground, Professor.
Yes, much to our chagrin at times.
Well, exactly. And as we've said very times, this is a track. This is why I like Flemington better, because you can have more faith in the ground at Flemington than I have in the Caulfield track.
Well, Gelding, it's a 10-race card. The first is at 12:15, the last at 5:35. The feature race, race 9, the CF Orr Stakes, a Group 1 for 3-year-olds and above, over 1,400 metres, and it's worth $750,000, Gelding. So as an owner, you'd be very, very happy to be accepting the trophy and the cash in that race.
Have you got it marked out for your horse coming up, Mark, in the future?
Well, we hope so.
We hope so.
Maybe this time. Maybe this time next year, Gelding.
Maybe this time, yes. It could be a Vate.
All right, Gelding. The track's a good 4. I would imagine that if it gets to the 27 degrees as predicted, Gelding, that rating could be upgraded. And as we always say, punters should pay heed to when those track ratings are changed. The rail's in the true position, 9 metres, as you said last week, Gelding. Hopefully no bias, but who would know?
Exactly, Professor. So just kind of a bit of a caveat, just saying that, of course, this is put on the fact that we've got a true racing service and all horses have their chances from all parts of the field. But we will see how it goes. Professor, I'm going late in the day with the good horses now returning. I'm backing 2 horses that are both having their first up spell, and I'm looking at both of them because I think both of them have done very, very well first up beforehand, Professor, and they're obviously horses that I've backed before. The first one is race 8, horse number 4 as Fura, Henry Dwyer's Sprinter. This horse is just a fantastic 1,100-metre horse, Professor. It's a 5-year-old Flying Artie mare. It's had 19 starts, Professor, for 8 wins. So we're talking a horse that races over winning percentage rate of over 50%. On this track, it's had 5 starts for 4 wins and a third. Again, something else we like. On the distance, 7 starts for 5 wins and a third, Professor. First up, 4 starts for 3 wins and a third. So all those things are telling me this is a horse that flies first up over the 1,100. Caulfield's is its track. And so when you're talking about a horse being prepared for the Group 1 Oakley Plate, I think that's 4 will do very, very well for me in this. So race 8, number 4. We then go on to race 9, the Group 1 CF Orr Stakes. And nothing wrong with backing the best horse racing today, Professor, at Caulfield, and that is number 1, Mr. Brightside. So we'll be going a race 9, number 1, Mr. Brightside. Look, if I can tell you some things about it, Professor, all of them that you know, a horse that's won over almost $11.5 million. It's had 14 wins out of 29 starts. On the track, 4 starts for 3 wins. First up, had 6 goes for 2 wins, a second and a third. You know, it's been racing against some very, very good horses. Look, Pride of Jenny, that's in the field, beat it last time during the Spring Carnival, but I don't think Williams will get outridden today like he was last time with Pride of Jenny, and of course Pride of Jenny being first up. But I'm just thinking we'll go race 8, number 4, and then into race 9, number 1, Professor, Mr. Brightside.
Sound like some excellent tips there, Gelding.
Oh, look, Professor, they may not be great odds, but hopefully they're winning tickets.
Oh, they almost picked themselves, Gelding.
I think they're
that good,
Professor. Yep, I like them. I'm sure Schooner would have picked them for me.
He stopped doing that, Gelding. I've stopped getting the texts from him.
Has he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He must be busy.
He must be very busy, hey? Must be, must get that square set to get the paper, just the wallpaper up on the wall.
He's got a wall full of it, Gelding, I think.
Beautiful.
All right, Gelding. Well,
what do you like, Professor?
I'm going very early and then mid meeting. So race 1, the Premier Signs Handicap, a benchmark 100 for 3-year-olds and above, over 2,000 metres. I like in this one, Gelding, horse number 9, Flash Feeling, coming out of barrier 3. Had 24 starts for 5 wins and 6 placings. So it's got a 21% win rate, a 46% place rate. It was second to Independent Road last start at Moonee Valley by a short half head, Gelding. It meets that horse 3 kilos better off today. So I like that drop in weight, that reversal in weight there. It'll run out the distance, no problem. It's won over 2,000 metres before. We've got Craig Williams in the saddle, a premier jockey. Hopefully he doesn't lose his compass today. And trained by Johnny Sadler. So very confident, Gelding, and you can get $2.40 and $1.24 fixed at the moment. It might start a little bit longer than that, so I'd suggest punters may hold off till closer to starting time to see whether the horse drifts out or not.
Well, I think it'll be a fairly popular way to start the day, Professor.
Yeah, I think so, Gelding. I think so. And hopefully it'll get GM Racing off to the sort of start that we like on a race day.
Exactly, Professor. We'd like to have the nose in front early. Take their money.
Exactly right.
Take their money
Gelding.
and run.
Yes. All right. So my second selection's in race 6, the Blue Diamond Prelude for 2-year-old colts and geldings. It's a Group 3 over 1,100 metres. In this race, Gelding, I like horse number 4, Stay Focused. I'm trying to stay focused on getting the good tips today.
Yes.
Coming out of barrier 3, only had one race, Gelding, for a win, and it was pretty impressive at that. So 100% win and place rating. I'm going with a local trainer from Pakenham, Gelding, Phillip Stakes.
One of your favourites.
Yes, Gelding had a very good debut win, as I said, and has been freshened up over the last 4 weeks. And Gelding, I like this horse because it'll be on pace. So hopefully on pace runners will be rewarded today. Daniel Stackhouse in the saddle. So he's a very good jockey going around at the present time. And Phil Stakes, as I said, the local trainer, he's having some success too. So my two horses for today's racing. Race 1, horse 9, Flash Feeling. We'll have a Flash Feeling after it wins, Gelding. And beautiful. Race 6, horse 4, will be able to stay focused after it wins.
Beautiful, Professor. So you're setting me a task early today, eh? you're so hopefully come around about the 3 o'clock mark. We should be 2 out of 2 with a little bit of luck.
That's right, Gelding, and with the 2 better horses to run.
Oh, with the pressure on me.
All right, Gelding, the Professor's parlay last week. Let me tell you the tale of the tape, Gelding.
Oh, no.
Jimmy
No.
Star won beautifully. The Clippers, although in a little bit of trouble early on, I was watching the game on the computer because I was doing some work as well, and I was a little bit worried at halftime, but like all good teams, sped away at the end and put the Pistons to the sword. And then how many times when Newcastle score 4 goals at home do they get beaten or draw? It's a negligible percentage, Gelding. Yes.
Once?
Yes, once.
And when was that?
Last week.
Oh, no.
I awake to see the score, Gelding. Newcastle 4, so I'm feeling really good. Luton 4. I go, what happened there?
What happened? What did happen, Professor?
Well, I think Newcastle took it a little bit too easily, Gelding. At one stage during the last 15 minutes of the match, Newcastle 2, Luton 4. So they were lucky to get back for a draw.
Yeah. Anyway, it was shock when I came through when you sent me the text through, Professor. I thought, the hard bit, of course, is getting the racing league up.
Yes,
we get that up quite easily, and then, as you said, the Clippers get home for us. With a little bit of things, and I thought, Newcastle 4 goals, you win the game, don't you?
You do win the game, Gelding, providing your defence isn't as porous as multi-hold piece of paper.
Professor, that's enough of last week.
That's last week, Gelding. Confidence not lost, though, Gelding.
No, Professor, when we're going like that, when you're betting at almost 80%, and again we got there's 2 out of the 3 leagues that we've got, and really the third league was one of the abnormalities of, I suppose, the soccer. They can draw and you lose.
Exactly right.
So we haven't really lost, but we have. But anyway.
Yeah. All right, Gelding, this week, the Professor's Parlay, the agreed bet of the day. Well, the best horse, as you said, Gelding, the best racehorse going around at Caulfield today, Mr. Brightside, race 9, horse 1. No doubt about that whatsoever. I think everybody would agree with that, wouldn't they, Gelding?
I would think so if they've got their heads on right. Yep.
And especially if they listen to this show, Gelding.
Exactly, Professor. They would have been on Mr. Brightside before.
That's right. And let's parlay that into Manchester City at home to beat Everton.
What about the National Football League? What about NFL?
That's a special bet later on, Gelding.
Okay. So we're going to soccer again.
We're going to soccer. Confidence not lost, Gelding. Manchester City second on the table. They've won 15 from 22, a plus 29 goal difference. Everton third last at the present time, a minus 4 goal difference. At the end of December, Gelding playing at Everton, Manchester City beat them 3-1. So playing at home, I think that they will at least get that scoreline today. And $1.16, very good odds, Gelding. And let's parlay that into Liverpool at home to beat Burnley. So we'll go for a double dessert of the Premier League today.
Oh, okay. I'm being confident, Professor, for you.
All right, very good. So Liverpool on top of the table, 115 from 23, a plus 30 goal difference, the best in the Premier League against the second last team, Gelding, Burnley, minus 23 goal difference. They beat Burnley 2-0 at Burnley towards the end of December. So at $1.15 with Liverpool and Manchester City both at home, I think that shows very good odds and very good value for punters. The win parlay is worth 3-1, Gelding. The place parlay at 3-2.
Oh, well, nothing ventured, nothing gained, Professor. Very good.
That's right, Gelding. And the special for the week, Kansas City Chiefs to win the Super Bowl. They're currently showing $2.10. I'd take them straight out to win. Don't worry about the plus or minus 1.5. That's really nothing in a game of NFL when they score in 7 and 3 increments, Gelding. 1.5's a bit hard to work out why that would be arranged. The bookies don't want to lose. That's the reason it's at that rate.
Yes, I'm with you there, Professor. I'm with you. So do you reckon it'll be close? Or do you think that KC will just run over them?
Kansas City have got a very good defence, Gelding. They've held teams to under 20 points on 13 of 17 occasions during the year.
And with their offence, able to score round about the 30, 35 points quite easily a game and all that, when you've got a defence like that is so well renowned for being stingy and things like that. So, yeah, it's got to be there. Got to be there, Professor.
It's got to be there. So that's what I say. $2.10. Take Kansas City straight out. All right, Gelding. Hopefully the GM Racing and our viewers have some great value today at Caulfield. Are you off to Caulfield today?
No, I'll be watching from home today, Professor, in the lounge room after being there last week. So we'll be watching today from home. So I'll be having a look also in Sydney. So some good races coming up in the next 3 months, Professor. So
there certainly are, Gelding. So, all right, well, no doubt you and I will be communicating during the day, and hopefully it'll be all good, not,
it's all positive, Professor.
It's all positive. It is.
It's
okay, Gelding. So until next Saturday, and that's racing, it's good luck.
And good punting.